A very pleasant good morning to you all. I welcome you all to the 10th Standard Zoology online class. Dear students, hope you are all safe and good in your home by the grace of God. Are you ready to listen the class? Okay, fine. In this section, we are going to discuss about human nervous system. What do you mean nervous system? Did you ever wonder how our body functions? The body maintains a stable condition even when the outside environment changes. Our eyes help to see things around us. Ears help us to hear various sounds. Heart beats continuously and rhythmically. Air goes in and out of lungs. Eyes shed tears whenever limbs get hurt. Do you know how it is coordinated and controlled? The nervous system of our body coordinates all the other systems to work together effectively and smoothly. So, nervous system as the control and coordinating center of our body. So, which is the control and coordinating center of our body? Nervous system. Let us learn about human nervous system. The human nervous system is differentiated into central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. So, the human nervous system is differentiated into how many parts? 3 parts. What are they? They are central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The first one, central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system includes cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Third one, autonomic nervous system includes sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Clear children? The human nervous system is differentiated into 3 parts. What are they? Central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system includes spinal nerves and cranial nerves. Autonomic nervous system includes sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Clear? Now we can see one by one. The central nervous system includes brain and the spinal cord. That is, the CNS includes the brain and the spinal cord, which are protected by the bones of the skull and the vertebral column. So, they are protected by the bones of skull and vertebral column. Clear children? The first one, brain. We all know brain is the important organ. Isn't it children? Okay. The brain acts as the command and control system. It is a site of information processing. It is a site of information processing. Where it is located? It is located in the cranial cavity. Brain is located in the cranial cavity. The brain is covered by 3 membranes or coverings. The brain is covered by 3 coverings. That is called meninges. Clear? So, they are outer dura mater, middle arachnoid membrane and inner pia mater. Outer dura mater, middle arachnoid membrane and inner pia mater. So, outer dura mater means tough membrane. Okay. Layer. Membrane means layer. So, middle arachnoid membrane. So, arachnoid means it looks like spider. Okay. So, it is called arachnoid membrane. The third one is pia mater. That is, pia means soft. Okay. It is the innermost layer and thin delicate membrane. Clear it children? What are the 3 coverings of brain? Outer dura mater, middle arachnoid membrane, inner pia mater, outer dura mater, middle arachnoid membrane, inner pia mater. Clear? I hope you all understood. A human brain is formed of three main parts. They are forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Human brain is formed of three main parts. What are they? Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. The first one is forebrain. Forebrain is formed of cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus. Forebrain is formed of cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus. Dear children, so what are the parts included in the forebrain? Forebrain consists of cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus. Next one, midbrain. Midbrain consists of Harpora quadrigemina. Midbrain consists of Harpora quadrigemina. Third one, hindbrain. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. Clear? So the brain has three parts. What are they? Forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Okay. The first one, forebrain. What are the parts included? They are cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus. Okay. First one is cerebrum. It is the largest portion forming nearly 2/3 of the brain. So it is the largest portion. The cerebrum is divided into two halves as right and left cerebral hemispheres. So the cerebrum is divided into two halves. What are they? Right cerebral hemispheres and left cerebral hemispheres. The two cerebral hemispheres are interconnected by a thick band of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. The two cerebral hemispheres are connected by band of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. The outer portion of cerebral hemisphere is formed of grey matter and the inner portion is formed of white matter. That is, outer portion is called cerebral cortex and the inner portion is called cerebral medulla. Children, have you remember in the kidney we have studied outer region is called renal cortex, isn't it? Inner region is called renal medulla. Similarly, in brain also the outer region is called cerebral cortex. The inner region is called cerebral medulla. But the outer region is grey matter. The inner region is white matter. Clear it? So outer region is called cerebral cortex. Inner region is called cerebral medulla. Okay. Which is the largest portion in the brain? Cerebrum. It is the largest portion forming nearly 2/3 of the brain. Okay. Next, the cortex is extremely folded forming elevations called hyrae with differentials between them termed as sulci that increase its surface area. Okay. The cortex is extremely folded forming elevations called hyrae with differentials between them termed as sulci. So what are they? Hyrae and sulci that increase its surface area. Okay. Each cerebral hemisphere is divisible into a frontal lobe, a parietal lobe, a temporal lobe and an occipital lobe. Each cerebral hemisphere is divisible into a frontal lobe, a parietal lobe, a temporal lobe and an occipital lobe. These lobes are also known as cerebral lobes. What are these? They are frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe and occipital lobe. Okay. They are associated with specific functions. Okay, associated with specific functions. Okay. Cerebrum is responsible for more functions. They are thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. Okay. So, what are the functions of cerebrum? Cerebrum is responsible for thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. Clear children? So, once again we can see cerebrum. It is the largest portion forming nearly 2/3 of the brain. Okay. The cerebrum is longitudinally divided into two halves, that is right cerebral hemispheres and left cerebral hemispheres. They are connected by a thick band of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. Okay, connected by thick fibers, nerve fibers called corpus callosum. The outer portion of cerebral hemisphere is formed of gray matter, that is called cerebral cortex. The inner portion of cerebral hemispheres is formed of white matter, that is called cerebral medulla. Clear? And also cerebrum contains chyli and sulci. Okay. Next, each cerebral hemisphere is divisible into a frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe and an occipital lobe. These lobes are known as cerebral lobes. These lobes are known as cerebral lobes. Clear children? Have you got it? Okay. Then what are the functions of cerebrum? The cerebrum is responsible for thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. Clear? I hope you all understood. Okay. It's important. Just you read it and recall it. Second one is thalamus. Thalamus present in cerebral medulla. So, thalamus where it is present? It is present in cerebral medulla. It is a major conducting center for sensory and motor signaling. It's a major center for sensory and motor signaling. So, sensory means through sense organs it receives and gives signals. Okay. Sense organs you know. Yes children, what are they? Eyes, nose, ears, tongue, skin. Okay. Next, motor signaling, that means voluntary movements. They tell our muscles to move when we want. Okay. That means when we want to move, the muscles get the signals from thalamus. Okay. Also act as a relay center. Thalamus acts as a relay center. So, relay center refers to part that taking some information or message to passing it to the main center. So, it takes some information or message to passing it to the main center. Clear it? So, two functions, sensory and motor signaling and act as a relay center. Okay. So, clear? Thalamus where it is located? Located in cerebral medulla. What are the functions? Sensory and motor signaling and act as a relay center. The third one is hypothalamus. Okay. It lies at the base of the thalamus. So, hypothalamus located at the base of the thalamus. It controls involuntary functions. So, involuntary means without our will doing. Okay. They are hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, anger, fear, water balance, blood pressure, etc. Clear? What are the functions they are doing? Hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, anger, fear, water balance, blood pressure. It acts as a thermoregulatory center of the body. So, thermoregulatory means temperature control. Clear? It acts as a thermoregulatory center of the body. Thalamus acts as a relay center. Clear? But hypothalamus acts as a thermoregulatory center. Have you got it? Clear it children? So, what are the three parts included in the forebrain? Cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus. What are the functions of hypothalamus? The involuntary functions like hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, anger, fear, water balance, blood pressure, and act as a thermoregulatory center of the body. Clear? What are the functions of thalamus? They are major conducting center for sensory and motor signaling. Also act as a relay center. Okay. What are the functions of cerebrum? The cerebrum is responsible for thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. Clear children? We can see the continuation next class. Okay. Now I am giving some questions. You write it in the rough note and learn it. Thank you children.